Eerie silence seems to have dominated the once resounding hum of the looms of weavers community spread across the length and the breadth of the country. The COVID-19 crisis has disrupted businesses across the globe, and the Indian economy is not immune to this pandemic. And handloom, that has an overwhelming presence in the socio-economic life of the country since time immemorial, is no exception. Employing some 43.31 lakh weavers, the handloom sector is the largest employment sector in India after agriculture. Until the 2011 census, this sector employed more than 63 lakh people, nearly 87% of whom reside in villages, with women forming around 77% of the workforce. But unlike the hardship of farmers, daily wages and construction workers, handloom sector doesn't get much attention because maybe most weavers are dependent on the master craftsmen who hire them on a contract basis, or the weavers cluster societies employing them, or the fashion designers who use natural handloom fabric. While many of the manufacturers have cloth that remains unsold, efforts are being made to convert them into masks to continue providing income to these companies. Social benefits have been helpful, but with no income, rations are not sustaining these clusters or individuals. The sector experienced sudden stalling of orders as retailers stopped trade due to the worldwide pandemic. Subsequently, cash flow stopped, with buyers unable to make payments and no sales happening at all. The usual lead time required to complete a production cycle is 2 to 3 months. With no marketing, liquidity crunches inevitable severely impact the ability to invest in yarns for creating products for festive season, that is from August to November, and winter spring, that is October and to February, which are the other two major selling seasons for handloom textiles. With uncertainty looming large, even overseas orders will not be forthcoming. Who knows, customer priorities may change with tightened budgets. Small artisans and producer groups do not have the financial cushioning to hold through such a crisis, nor would they get credit supplies from raw material suppliers. Being a part of an informal economy, artisans are also not able to access credit from banks and financial institutions. While the government may provide the ration to some extent, the majority of the artisans who earn on a daily basis working for bigger weavers or traders will find it extremely difficult to feed their families and take care of any medical exigencies. Have we even wanted to know what artisans want? The wide segment of artisans of clusters having consensus in attributing the demand to a continued support from buyers and designers by placing advance orders and buying out their existing inventory of finished product rather than requesting for financial assistance. This translates to a better margin in terms of cost efficiency for the buyers and faster cash generation for the weavers with stockpiles of finished materials. The artisans want to present a proactive picture and the beauty of their crafts and bond with the customers, offering them value in exchange for their support. Several artisans say they have been sitting idle for 2 months now as their shops are closed and that they are unable to sell their stock due to lockdown restrictions. These artisans lack savings or have exhausted in 2 months whatever they had. Neither are they being able to sell nor get raw material. Add to it the pending dues from middlemen. For everyone's information, a single power loom can weave up to 7 saris a day, while a hand loom has the upper limit of 2 per day. Lopsided policy initiatives continue to be a bone of contention for the weavers of the country in general. There were protests by local traders against GST or goods and services taxes some time back, which was proving to be an additional burden on the weavers, with many of them struggling to understand the online system of payment. The handloom sector is one of the major symbols of the cultural heritage of India. Apart from that, it continues to be an important source of livelihood, especially for women who form around 70% of the weavers or allied workers in the sector. Amidst so much of darkness, it certainly goes a long way if each of us ensures to opt more for hand-woven drapes more than the machine-manufactured ones. This is the time to be vocal for local and turn the Atmanirbhar Bharat into a reality in this weaving sector to begin with. On this National Handloom Day, observed to honor the handloom community and acknowledge their contribution towards India's socio-economic development, people should aim to protect this heritage and empower the workers in the sector. This year, as a part of the social media campaign, the Ministry of Textiles has requested all the union ministers, lieutenant governors, chief ministers, MPs, as well as industrials of eminence to stand in solidarity with the handloom weaving community of the country through their social media accounts. Apart from that, the secretaries to the central government and officers at equivalent levels have also been presented with a similar request. In a step that would also give a boost to Atmanirbhar Bharat, the Handloom Export Promotion Council is organizing a virtual fair in which over 150 weavers from across the country will be participating. Called the Indian Textile Sourcing Fair, the virtual fair would be open on August 7, 10 and 11, and several international buyers would also be taking part in it. Besides this, the event will show the establishment of the Craft Handloom Village in Kullu. A mobile app and back-end website were also launched for the Handloom Mark scheme. A My Handloom portal was also launched today. But as the last word, it also becomes imperative for the government, both at the centre and the state, to add the handloom sector among the worst affected and provide impetus to the lakhs of weavers if the pride of the nation has to be upheld for all times to come.